High Desert State Prison, B Yard, and this is my war dog. So, High Desert is like any other prison. It's located in the cuts. It's far away from civilization and shit. There's only a small town in that area. So it's really far away from a lot of us folks that get sent up there. And, it's hard for our families to get up there and visit us. A lot of people coming from LA or from the Bay Area, you got to travel hours and hours, hundreds of miles away just to visit their family members within the prison. So it's just a dangerous drive. It's a hardship for a lot of people, and a lot of times they end up staying in these hotels that are within the area of the prison. And a lot of the women there, they get to meet each other, and the kids get to play with each other there. And so our family members end up being friends out there, kind of supporting each other, through the whole thing, because they have one thing in common, and that is that, they have a family member locked up. So long story short, my wife ended up befriending another lady there, and my kid, she would hang out with this lady's kid and play over there at the hotel. Well, when my wife came to visit me, she showed me the lady who she was friends with, and I saw that her husband came in and he was from my yard, and I noticed that he's a Southsider. So I did what I felt was necessary, and I asked my wife, not to speak with that lady anymore and to kind of keep to herself. Because within the yard, that man will do whatever he got to do to kill me if our peoples go to war. So to me, I was thinking, man, I don't want my wife sharing information with this lady or anything like that. So I asked her to please stop talking to her. Well, my wife, she does her own thing, and she basically told me, we don't play those politics out here on the streets. Y'all do what you do, but out here, we don't play that shit. And I was like, okay. But I just don't think she understood the seriousness of how it goes down in there. So, but I didn't argue it. I let it go, and that was that. Well, over time, me and this guy, as we're leaving the visiting room, would exchange words every once in a while. And I remember a time he was just basically telling me that he appreciates my wife and his wife's friendship because his wife doesn't have anybody to talk to. It's really hard for her to come up to that place and visit. So it was really helping her that she got somebody to talk to while she was up visiting. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I realized a lot of things within that moment, and that was that we are all human beings, and we're all in fucked up circumstances, and the situation that we're in causes us to live by certain codes and certain ways, but in all reality, we're all suffering from the same shit. So, you know, it just helped me see a different light on things, even though I kept my guard up and made sure, that I wasn't doing anything out of pocket to get myself caught up or my car caught up in there, as well as he was doing the same also. So as time went on, our families, they hang out with each other. They got to know each other. I got to know him a little bit more, where he was from. I'm not going to speak on where he's from or his name, but because of our families, me and him were able to see each other as regular people versus looking at each other as I run with a certain car and he runs with a certain car. So there was this one time that I had gotten out of visiting a little early. So I was just able to go to the tables and hang out with my people for a little while yard was open and just wait for yard recall. So I got out a little bit earlier than old boy, but I saw him come out the gate, out of the visiting gate, and I saw his peoples waiting for him, and they were walking with him around the yard to head back to their area where they usually kick it at. So as he's passing by where I'm at with my people, he stops and he says, "What's up, Ron?" And I'm like, "What's up, man?" And it was kind of weird that he was doing that because, like I said, on the yard, this isn't something that is accepted. But he then proceeds to tell me, "Come here, man." So I walk over to him, say what's up, and he extends his hand, shakes my hand, and gives me a hug, and basically tells me, "You a good dude, man," right in front of his homeboys. So they spin off, and I walk back, and I walk back to my people, and I'm tripping on the whole thing because this is something that doesn't happen. And I know that the yard, everybody sees everything. So when I walk back up, my people automatically ask me, "What's up? What's going on?" And I said, "I don't know." You know what I mean? I just know him from the visiting room, and my family and his family kick it with each other out there. So, but I don't know what that was about. But I really didn't know what it was about. You know what I mean? Just the fact that old boy was treating me like a decent human being. And it's fucked up that we got to question that. But that's how it is in there. So he walks off with his people. They walk over to the handball court. Looks like they're about to go play some handball. I'm still watching because I just really just kind of shocked and don't understand what happened there. But that was the fucked up mentality we had in there. So he just being a decent dude. And he walks over there to the handball court and, he takes his visiting shirt off. He's got the white t-shirt under the blue visiting shirt. So he takes off the visiting shirt off, hands it off, and then he grabs the ball and he goes into the handball court and he goes to throw the ball against the wall. Well, the three dudes that were on the court with him, they rush him and they start sticking him. One of the dudes had two knives on him. So they're sticking him. He's fighting. He ends up knocking one of them on the ground. He keeps fighting, but there's nothing much he can really do because these guys are really just, because these guys are on full attack and they got weapons. So the yard goes down. Cops shoot the block gun, whatever. Yard goes down. People are laid out on the ground and everything. And so the cops come out there. So what the cops do is when they come up there, they handcuff the people that are involved in the situation. So they handcuff everyone, and they ask the dude that I know, do you need medical to come take you off the yard? And basically, what they do with that is they drive on the yard like on a golf cart, and it's a medical staff and an officer, and then they basically pick you up and put you on the cart and drive you off the yard and take you to medical so they can hurry up and operate on you or whatnot. But when the cop asked him that, and the yard is fucking quiet, and you could hear a pin drop on the yard. It's so fucking quiet. But when the cop asked him that, all you heard from old boy was, "Fuck nah, walk me off this yard." And so they picked his ass up, and I'm telling you, his white t-shirt was just dark red, filled with blood. He got stabbed multiple times. So I noticed the stab wound in his neck, and I see it. It's just like pouring out his neck. It's not like spraying or anything, but it's like pouring out of his neck, and it's shimmering. That's the only word that comes to mind when I try to describe how his wound was. The blood was shimmering. It was just like waves coming out and waves out of his neck. And he walked off that yard, in handcuffs. He didn't get carried off. And I remember, some of my people were saying, "That's a soldier right there," and I felt the same way, and I'm sure everybody on the yard felt the same way because I've seen people get stabbed and then they run and scream for help and things like that. I don't know. Like I said, he was a good dude in my eyes. He treated me decently, you know what I mean? And it's just a fucked up world in there, you know what I mean? So I guess I'm just telling you these stories, you guys, because no matter what you think, no matter what you think, if you end up in a place like that, it strips you of everything. You're no longer human. You're just a fucking number. You're just part of, the movement that's going on within that prison. And you no longer have control of who you are. and it's hard. And so I guess all I can say with that is, you know what it is. Stay the fuck out of trouble.